back to North American LCS. I'm joined by Liquid's co-owner, Steve "Liquid" Arhancet, to talk a little bit about some of the organizational changes that you guys have gone through throughout the course of this entire year. So first of all, thank you for taking the time to help provide some clarity on these issues. I think where I want to start is, as you are one of the organizations that has gone through the most roster changes, most player changes, structural changes throughout the course of even just your org's history, and shown that you really are looking to find the best practice, the best solution. Have you guys found that yet? Do you feel like you have an overarching philosophy that you can now stand behind in terms of player development and ultimately making your decisions around starting rosters?
Yeah. So Team Liquid, we've been around for the LCS for over 5 years, and we try things. We are always pushing the envelope, and that's one of our philosophies, is that we're never settled for the way things currently are for esports or gaming. And we've done that with the first team to put players in individual rooms or move away from a gaming house. We just locked down an office where we're going to have all of our teams practicing and playing, which is like a mile away from the studio here.
Nice.
And we've been the first to import a player from another region. Back in the day with Edward, we were the first team to do an O1 visa for Elements, which was the first of its kind. So we're always pushing the envelope. And when you try a lot of things, some things don't go well.
I was going to say,
and that's just how it works.
On
right?
top of things not going well, sometimes you face massive amounts of criticism. So how, in the face of all this criticism and in sometimes disappointing performances, do you as an organization choose to charge forward with this philosophy, knowing you might be pissing some people off?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that you have to stay true to what your belief is. And for us, it's the development of players. It's creating a variable mindset, that things can always improve, that you can actually teach players to be better than when they come in. And I think Team Liquid, we deserve some recognition and credibility for the way that we've developed players into the scene. And prior with Team LoL Pro and Curse Academy and Curse EU and Curse Australia, I mean, these are teams where we brought in a number of players that are currently playing in LCS, right? We've developed players. That's been kind of something that's been core to us, and we lost that actually this season, really.
Was there something that triggered? Can you pin down why it was you lost that?
Yeah. Well, we decided to sell our NACS spot, and we sold that to United.
Yeah.
And after that sale, we did not field a challenger team. And that was, I think, a major mistake in terms of our strategy for developing players. And it took us away from something that was really a core competency of our organization, which was developing talent. And we had done such a great job with that. So we've already moved back to that. And we have an academy team now.
All right, so now let me dive into something that's a little bit trickier to navigate, right? Which is the most recent trade with bringing Dardoch back onto the lineup, because as you talk about the development of players and in some cases making them better, than when they came to the org, there was controversy around him, leaving. We saw, of course, the documentary released, and now, after making multiple pit stops to other teams, returns to Team Liquid. Just help provide some clarity for me on the decision to bring him back into the roster and why you think this time around it's going to be different.
Josh is, we fully understand, probably better than any other organization, the things that he's done and said. And those have to factor into our considerations on bringing him back onto the roster. And that's why it was so important for me to get the opinions of the players that had previously played with Josh. So Sam, Matt, and Piglet, they had competitive experience with him as a teammate.
Very much so.
And the unanimous decision was that bring Josh back.
Okay.
Let's play with him, and let's see how things work out. And for me, it was... It's going really well so far. And he has been a great teammate. He's collaborating. He's a shot caller. And so I'm very hopeful because the team is behind him and he's really doing well. But it's up to him. His future is in his hands. He gets to write the next chapter.
I like that. I like that outlook. And of course, his move is right alongside the move of Mickey coming over to North America. He's going to get his debut today. So I know a lot of NA fans are very excited about the prospect of him performing in the mid lane. For you, again, replacing Golden Glue here in the mid lane, what was the thinking around bringing Mickey in, especially as he is an import? And you already, in a sense, are an import-heavy roster with Reignover on the lineup, or at least at your disposal.
Yeah. So we wanted to evaluate what options could be available at the time that they become available. And one of the things that's not working for us is that there's not many player options in between splits. I'd say 99% of all contracts are going to end at the end of a season. So that's not working for us. But when things become available, we're going to look into them. We're going to evaluate and find out what may work for us. And when Mickey was released from Rocks, we spoke with him a few days after, and we said, hey, this may be an option. Let's evaluate it. And in those conversations, it became clear like he would add a lot of firepower to the roster. It's really interesting because Riot just released some statistics, advanced statistics, just the other day, and one of those stats is the damage that's dealt.
The damage rating.
The damage rating, exactly. And for Mickey's damage rating, he's actually second to Faker in all of LCK, which is really impressive, and I think it's a good stat. And so for us, we're very hopeful. And some of the misconceptions we had about Mickey, like what about his English and how is he going to integrate into the team? He's doing really well. We've got a tutor for him that's going to be working with him twice a week. His English is actually better than what we thought it was going to be, and he's already earned the respect of his teammates, playing extremely well.
I want to close with this, and it might be a difficult question to answer. How do you measure success for the decisions that you've just made? Because you have such a finite amount of time, right? In terms of the scope of this season, right? For Liquid right now, the goal is to avoid the promotion tournament. Well, you've only got this week of play, and if you successfully avoid the promotion tournament, you're not playing again. So how will you know if you've made these right decisions going into the offseason and even into the 2018 season, ideally, right? To know we've made the right decision, or hey, we need to be looking at the other guys whose contracts are coming up in that postseason to maybe replace more players.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we are disappointed in our performance this season, and past split and current split. We've disappointed ourselves, we've disappointed our fans, and the thing is, I'm not going to rest. I'm not going to just sit idle and just allow that to happen. I will continue to work hard and evaluate whatever options may be necessary in order for us to be fighting for one of the top spots in LCS, like we had been doing for 5 years. So for us, we lost it, but just for a little bit, and we're going to get it back in 2018 and beyond. So I've got to stay focused on winning and making sure that that's the
one thing I can confidently say is that no one can ever accuse Team Liquid of not trying things, right? Not looking for solutions and answers. Once again, Steve, I want to thank you for your time, helping provide some clarity on all the moves they've made throughout the split. Time for us now to throw it over to the game to see how the new roster shakes out.